Shadowed Battlegrounds presents Crispus Attucks, the Spark of Revolution. The air was crisp in Boston on the evening of March 5th, 1770. The cobblestone streets echoed with the footsteps of soldiers and citizens alike. Tensions had been building for years, as British troops, known as Red Coats, patrolled the city, enforcing laws that many colonists felt were unjust. Among the throngs of people, one figure stood out, a man who had walked the difficult path from enslavement to freedom, a man who would soon become the first martyr in the fight for American independence. This man was Crispus Attucks. Born in 1723 in Framingham, Massachusetts, Crispus was the son of an African father and a Native American mother of the Natick tribe. As a young boy, Crispus was enslaved, but he grew up strong and determined, with a spirit that refused to be broken. In his mid-20s, he escaped from slavery, taking refuge among sailors and dockworkers in the bustling port cities of New England. For more than 2 decades, he lived as a free man, working as a sailor and a rope maker. Despite the constant danger of being captured and returned to slavery, Crispus thrived, becoming a respected figure among his peers. By 1770, Boston had become a powder keg of unrest. The colonists were fed up with British taxes and the heavy-handed enforcement of laws like the Stamp Act and Townshend Acts. Crispus Attucks, like many other working-class Bostonians, felt the sting of these oppressive measures. The presence of British soldiers only made matters worse, as confrontations between the troops and citizens became increasingly common. On that fateful day in March, a small altercation between a British soldier and a group of colonists quickly escalated into a full-blown riot. Crispus, standing over 6 feet tall and known for his strength, became a natural leader among the crowd. He urged his fellow Bostonians to stand up to the soldiers, to fight for their rights and their dignity. The crowd, emboldened by Crispus's words and presence, grew larger and angrier. As the mob gathered near the customs house on King Street, tensions reached a boiling point. The British soldiers, nervous and outnumbered, formed a defensive line, their muskets at the ready. Crispus Attucks stood at the forefront of the crowd, his eyes locked on the Red Coats. He knew the risks, but he also knew that the time had come to make a stand. Suddenly, a shot rang out, though no one would ever know for sure who fired the first bullet. Chaos erupted as more shots followed, and within moments, Crispus Attucks lay on the cold ground, struck by 2 bullets to the chest. 4 other men were killed alongside him, and several more were wounded. The crowd dispersed, leaving the street eerily quiet, save for the cries of the injured and dying. Crispus Attucks's body was carried away, and news of the massacre spread like wildfire through the colonies. In death, Crispus became a symbol of the growing resistance against British rule. His name was immortalized in the annals of history as the first man to fall in the struggle for American independence. John Adams, who would later become the 2nd President of the United States, famously defended the British soldiers in their trial, arguing that they had acted in self-defense. However, he could not erase the memory of Crispus Attucks and the others who had died that night. The Boston Massacre became a rallying cry for the colonists, fueling the flames of revolution that would eventually lead to the birth of a new nation. As we reflect on the life and legacy of Crispus Attucks, we are reminded that freedom is never free. It is paid for with the courage and sacrifice of those who are willing to stand up against tyranny, even at the cost of their own lives. Crispus Attucks, a man of mixed heritage, born into slavery, and who died a free man, represents the very essence of the American spirit, a spirit that would not be broken, a spirit that would ignite a revolution. If you like this story and want to see more, click on the icon top left. If you want to help support our channel, please hit the subscribe button on the top right.